This conference will now be recorded.
Sorry. Good evening, Jyotsna. So, as a part of
Good
our
evening.
performance testing real-time project course, we have to take one more mock interview. So let's go ahead and start with this. So can you give me a brief introduction about yourself?
Yeah, sir. Good evening. First of all, myself Josna Dilplangde. I am an engineering graduate specialized in mechanical engineering. I'm graduated from Pune University in 2016. After that, I have worked in my core domain, and in last 3 years, I have switched from my core domain to IT sector. So currently, I am associated with SR Infotech as a performance tester. So I have near about 2 years of experience in performance testing. So I am currently working on LoadRunner tool. So basically, I am involved in total performance testing life cycle. So basically, in that, I'm working with the business analyst to gathering the NFRs, workload modeling, creating the scripts, and creating the scenario. Result creation, and that results are shared for the managerial reviews.
Okay, that's great. Uh, what I understood from your introduction is that you are involved in end-to-end testing, right? So
Yeah.
can you please tell me how your day looks like? So if I like how your day looks like, or I mean, in the span of last 3 months, how many projects have you done? I mean, how much scripting you have done, or how? I mean, just give me a general idea, okay, how your day looks like.
Yeah, sir. So basically, right now I'm basically working on scripting, scripting, sir. So basically, we have created 5 to 6 scripts for our one project, like evolving project is there. So for that, we have to create 6 to 7 seven scripts are there. For that, we have to making the script for registrations and sign off of that merchants. So after that, we have create second one script is for the registering merchant, that security validations questions are there. And after that, we have to search that merchant is sign up or not. And after that, we have to create some rules, that is a person to person or group like. And after that, we have to create a script for fees and taxes. So
Okay, okay. So this is a part of scripting that you have done. You are telling me, right? Okay,
yeah,
okay,
yes.
okay, fine. So just can you tell me what kind of test I mean you have experience? So I mean, do you have
Sir,
like yeah?
we have performed endurance test, stress load test, and stress test, sir.
Okay. So what were you trying to achieve using in your stress test?
Entrance test is basically to find out the how the application is working for a long duration of time, when we are applying certain loads on that application. So what's is there any memory leak is there, so we have to
So
find out the
this is for
endurance
stress
test,
test.
sir.
Okay. Okay.
Endurance
Okay.
test.
Okay. So what was the user base? I mean, how many users were there?
User base is like 500, sir. We have currently applied that much.
Okay. Fine. That's okay. Okay. So fine. Just now I got some fair idea about your work. So can you tell me what is the difference between think time and pacing, and where do we use it? What's the I mean,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, sir. Think time is the wait time between two transaction, and pacing is the wait time between two iterations. So in real life scenario, user are taking some time to perform that action. For that purpose, think time is added. And pacing is the we have to achieve the concurrency on that server, so we have used that pacing.
Okay. Concurrency we are using pacing.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So what if I just remove like
When if when we are doing a test, so virtual users are not real, so they don't they are doing a operations uh, randomly, like one after another. So that's why we have to add that pacing.
okay. So let's say that in one of my application, I mean, we have designed a ramp up in such a way that, and every 4 seconds, okay, let's take every 3 seconds, you ramping up one users, okay, and
Okay.
but when you have started executing this application in controller, you are seeing you are getting
Yeah.
failures during ramp up itself. So
Okay.
I mean, what should be the reason? I mean, what I mean, how do you what things should come in your mind? Okay, when you're seeing, like, let's say you're executing it now, you are seeing this failure. Okay, in the ramp up itself, let's say that I've told you, okay,
Okay.
basically I give you a new idea, okay, how the ramp up has been designed, and you're ramping this in such a way. During ramp up itself, you are seeing these failures. Okay, the users are not even ramped up during the process itself; they are failing. Okay, so what are the things that should come up in your mind that you should check to confirm? I mean, how you will proceed?
Firstly,
Yeah.
I have to check that when we are doing the scripting, so when we are doing the correlations properly or not.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
uh, Server side responses, we have to sending that this is proper or not, and after that we have to check the connections. Like, I'm not exactly sure about that, sir, but that's what.
Okay. Fine. Okay. Got it. Okay. So you talked about correlation. So can you tell me what kind of correlations parameters have you used?
Sir, correlation is the process to uh, which process to handle the dynamic value which are coming from the server side, and store that dynamic value in variable, and we have to passes that value to the subsequent request. So basically I have used webrex save param x and webrex save param regex.
Okay. So you have used both of these. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh, okay. So can you tell me what is the difference between, I mean, WebRex and Paramax? And there is one more WebRex and Param. I mean, that was the initial one, right? So that
Yeah,
was
sir,
there. Then
WebEx save
yeah.
param is the deprecated function. So, with the additional attribute, we have to, in a latest version, we have to WebEx save param X function is there. So basically, the difference in that, sir, in WebEx save param X. WebEx save param, there is a directly we can write the parameter name, ordinals, and convert argument is available in WebEx save param. But in WebRef param, we have two parameter name, left boundary, right boundary, then ordinal, and which convert argument is there. So this convert argument is removed from webrex param x. So we have to pass the when we have to pass convert some string, so we have to use that web convert param web function is there. And in webrex param there is search option is there, and in webrex param x scope option is there, and request url is additional content type is added in webrex param x.
Okay. There's one more. I mean, there's one more which is very important. I mean, but so for delimiters also, I mean, we need to take care, but it's okay.
Oh,
So you told
okay.
me that you have used regular expression also, right? So can you tell me why? I mean, why do we use regular expression?
Regular expression is when my left boundary is changing dynamically. Then to handle that situation, I have to use the webrex param regex.
Okay. So if I give you one regular expression, are you comfortable writing the regular expression right now? So I give you one basically a line basically which I want to capture in my correlation, right? So can you write a regular expression for that right now?
Yes, I have just said that what we have to do.
No, no, no. So I'm saying that in regular expression, right? We have to write a regular expression, basically,
Uh,
which will capture that correlation, right? In There we define
Yeah.
right boundary boundary, but here we have to define regular expression, which will capture the value. So if
Okay.
I'll give you one syntax. Basically, you can think it as, okay. Can
Okay.
you write a correlation regular expression for this? So that if this something like this comes up, the correlation will able to capture it. If you can do it,
Okay, sir.
okay. So take 2 minutes. Okay, no, there's no hurry.
Yes.
I've pinged you in the chat. So it's cds@gmail.com. Can you write a regular expression for this?
cds@gmail.com. Okay, so I have to capture the regular expression in that. So what
Let's say this is come
my
up.
query?
This is coming up in your response. Okay. Now I want to
Okay.
capture this. So I have asked you to write a correlation so that you can capture this value. Okay, and you have to use regular expression correlation. Okay, so how do you go about it?
Yes, sir. Just a second.
Take 2 minutes at 6:20. I'll click the next question. Okay.
I just randomly putting something value, so
Okay. Take your time. You can share your screen as well. I mean, if you want, or we
yeah,
can.
yeah, yeah. Just a second, sir. I will share.
Okay, Josna, if it's not, are you getting anything, or shall you
Sir,
have it
just
not take this
which I
question?
have.
Okay, no issues, no issues. Let's move on. Okay.
Yeah.
So just now, let's say that your correlation is not working. Okay. Let's say that your
So just
correlation
I
is
have
not
told
working.
at the when you have just given that example, say where is that CDS? So I have to put that dot star question marks, and after that I have to pass the this, and I have to put the group is equal to that number one. So it will take that value. So
So it will take this only. Are you sure? Because if I change it something else, that will not be captured. Are you sure?
yes, I have to give that group is equal to which occurrence I have to capture. So it will capture that value. So
Okay, fine.
if I
Okay.
put 2 is equal to 2, so it will capture the second values like.
Okay, got it. Got it. Okay, fine, Jyotsna. So my next, let's move on to the next question. So
Yeah.
let's say that your correlation is not working. Okay. So what will you do now?
When my correlation is not working.
Let's say you have recorded one script. You have found that okay, this is a dynamic value, alphanumeric dynamic value. It's coming up. You need to correlate this value. Okay, you have correlated also. Now it's not
I
working.
have to replay that script with full mode, and I have to check this value is captured in code generation or not. So,
Okay, then let's say that let's say it's coming up there. Then
so I have to capture that value and passes the this value in that subsequent request. Sir.
so you'll create one regular WebRSM paramax and you'll find one
Yeah,
parameter. Okay, let's
yeah,
say
yeah, sir.
nothing is coming up in that parameter and the value is coming up in your code generation. So what now?
Um, exactly, I'm not sure about that, sir.
Okay, okay, fine. Uh, okay. So Jyotsna, I mean, you told me that you are doing end-to-end testing. I mean, for all the for the projects. I mean, the projects that you have mentioned now. Now, let's say that your script is working fine while when you have recorded it. Okay, in your local machine. Okay, but there's a one controller. Okay, one LG from where you have to run this. So you have installed one controller there, and you are running the test from there, and you are seeing that the moment you have the moment you started a test, failures are coming up. Okay, and this is not due to the ramp up any issues. Okay, so
Okay.
what should come up in your mind? How would you go about it? Checking
Sir,
resolve.
if script is not working, then I have to check the what error are coming up. So I have to find the causes of that.
Okay, okay, fine. Okay, so Josna, there is one option. Okay, while scripting, let's say that we always do it, right? So I mean, when a failure
Yeah.
comes up, the script will stop there and then in itself, and then it will show, okay, this line has failed.
Continue on error
So
option is there, sir.
okay, let's say that I don't want to use that option. Okay, I don't want to use that
Okay.
option. And is there any way other than like enabling that option? I can do that for certain request. There's a, let's say in your script, there's one request which fails,
Yeah.
which might not fail also. Okay, but how can you do something? Okay, write something so that if that request
So we
fail, it
have
will
to
come.
use for error output message. So it will use the at what certain it will fail, sir.
No. My question is that if I enable LR continue on error, even that request is failing, all the below request will be executed and it will show in the end, okay, fine, the script has passed or failed with these many others, right? So,
Yeah.
what I want you to write something like that for that particular request, even if it's fail or if it's a correlation that you have done, even it's that is failing, the script should not stop then and there. It should continue to execute further also. So, is there any way I can do that?
Mm, no, sir. Right now I'm not to recall that, sir.
Okay. Okay, so fine. What kind of validation you use in your script?
Sir, web validation is like text image check and text checkpoints.
Okay, so there is one setting in, there is one setting in runtime setting that you have to do. Without that, which with yeah, let's say they have put your web check and you have got test checks also. Okay, image check and test checks also.
Yeah.
Now, let's say that I'm recording it. Okay, like I'm replaying it, and the texts are not coming up, or let's say the image is not coming up, but I'm not also getting the failure. So, what could be the possible reason? You got my
Can you
question, right?
repeat that question, sir?
So, I have in my
No, no,
script, I
no.
have
Can you
used
repeat?
image. Yeah, so I'm in my script, I have put test checks. Sorry, image checks. Okay, when I'm
Okay.
replaying it, I'm not getting those images. Okay, while replaying, I'm not getting those because of some issue. Let's say that I've not done the correlation properly. Okay, and that images are not coming up, but still my scripts are passing. That means the validation is not working properly, right? So what could be the
Yes.
possible error? Is it because of the syntax or there's some things that I need to do before going?
Uh, because of the syntax, sir. Because in image checkpoint we have to passes that SRC attributes. So,
Okay. Just now, before running the test, let's say that you are executing your scripts. Okay, you have to do some runtime settings. Okay, everybody checks the run. So, what are the things that you check in your runtime setting before uploading it in your controller or executing your test right? We can edit the in controller itself. We can change the runtime settings. So before the run, you are just checking the runtime settings. So can you give me a walkthrough that what are the things that you check?
In runtime setting, we have to check the run logic for how many iteration we have to run that test. So after that, we have to check the pacing. What pacing we have to give. Then logs are there. So when we are replaying that script, we have to enable the extended log with parameter substitution and yeah, parameter substitution. Then we have to check the think time, for think time we have the option in like ignore think time, multiply think times, like. And then there is additional attributes and miscellaneous. In miscellaneous we have to do that error handling is there.
Okay. So error handling as in which? Okay. So in any what do you enable before the test?
Error handling we have to uncheck that, sir. In
Okay.
runtime setting, that error handling is there, I have to told that.
Okay. Okay. What else?
Then we have to run the that test as a thread or as a process.
Okay. Okay. So can you tell me what is the difference
Browser
between that? Can you yeah, I got the idea. Can you please explain what is the difference between these two? Run as a thread or run as a process. What is happening? I mean, how does it matter?
uh, uh, when we run as a process, the same program is loaded into the same driver program is loaded into the memory. So it will take a lot of memory, and we need more load generator for that. And when we are running it as a thread, so for that total it will take a single memory, so we have to add more virtual users on that load generator. So,
Okay. So can you tell? I mean, when you are running as a thread, can you please repeat that? I didn't get that.
uh, when we uh, when we run as a thread, the a single program is loaded into the memory, so it will take less memory as compared to the process. So we can add more virtual users on that LG.
Okay. Fine. Fine. Okay. So, Jyotsna, I'm running a test. Okay, I'm running a test, and my CPU utilization is getting higher. Okay, my CPU
Yeah.
utilization is getting higher, but I'm not getting the failure. My scripts are not failing. Okay, so what will happen to your TPS? We get right transaction total transaction per second in our controller. We
uh,
get one pan. So what will
CPU
happen in that graph?
utilization get CPU utilization is getting higher, na sir?
No, no. So in my TPS graph is there, right? In that total
Yeah,
transaction passed per second. That we in controller
yeah,
we can see multiple graphs, but as a
yeah, yeah.
practice
Yes,
we keep failed transaction, we keep past transaction, we
yes,
keep
sir.
V users. Okay, those things we can just enable that, and that Windows will pan will open up, and we can monitor during the runs. So let's say that my response time, I've enabled response time also. So I can see what is the collective response time that I'm getting from all the scenarios that
Yes,
I'm running, and the response time is getting higher. But in failure, no script is failing. All the, let's say, 5 6 scripts are there, all of them are passing. So what will happen to your TPS graph now?
uh, response time is getting higher, so uh, throughput is decreasing, sir.
My question is, what will happen to the TPS? You tell me only that, whether it will increase or decrease or will remain same.
Decrease, sir. Decrease, sir.
Okay. Okay, fine. And what could be the reason?
Uh, when it will take a more response time. Uh, just a second, sir. I will explain. When it will give more response. Mm, no, sir. I can't right now.
Oh, your answer is correct. Okay. so it will decrease. But why? If you can explain me, then
Yeah,
so does
sir, can you? My response time is increased or throughput is decreasing, sir.
okay. I'm talking about TPS. Okay, fine. Your let's say the TPS is decreasing, and but how these things are related? I mean, what is happening on the back end? Can you tell me on the server side?
When uh, throughput is decreasing, sir, through transaction per second, less transaction is there, so that's why the response time is getting higher, sir.
Yeah, it's okay. Fine. So Jyotsna, let's say that you're running a test, okay, and in between the test, your controller crashed. Okay, your controller crashed. Now
Yes.
you wanna analyze the let's say the run was for 1 hour, and with after 20-30 minutes it failed. I mean crashed. So I mean nothing is coming up. So but you wanna analyze, okay, what happened in that half an hour. So is there any way I can retrieve those test results for that duration?
Sir, when controller crashed, before that we have to collating like results. So that file is saved is like .ev, like, so we have to give the path to load generator and edit that with notepad, and we can analyze what's happened.
Okay, fine. Hmm. Okay. Okay, so Jyotsna, when I mean for each request, right? So you have also seen it. We use it in our diagnostics also. In that, I mean, for any website, we can see a waterfall breakdown. If you click on Web12 and you go to network, you can run. You can see okay each and how many requests basically that has going to the server, and you can see how much time it's taking. What are the components? Okay, is there? So in that
Yeah.
we get one header. Okay, we get one header which is called user agent, and this hazard you get in your control. I mean, you have seen in your Vusion scripts also, user agent like comma and then something is written. So what is this user agent? Can you tell me?
No, sir, I'm not aware that, sir.
Okay, so are you
Because
aware? I mean,
you said
yeah.
I'm just seeing that web ad header,
So by
web ad
default you get
at header.
by default you get lot of headers, right? I mean, this is, I mean,
Yes, sir.
yeah. So web header is there, right? So something,
Yeah,
a lot of headers are
reverse
coming
at
up
header.
before when we are recording. So automatically it comes up, right? I mean, those headers only.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
in that header, you must have seen one header. I mean, user agent. So I mean, what does it tell? Okay, fine. It's not an issue. So Jyotsna, if I'm sure you are aware of this, that when we send a request, I mean, if it's a query request, we have to send it in GET. So all the like web URLs are there by default. If for the first time we are sending, we have to send it in GET form, right? So that is to
Yeah.
request data from the specified resources. So we are just fetching the data from the server that, okay, fine, give me what is the information on this web page. Okay. Now there are
Mm.
multiple methods are there to send a request. Okay. To the web servers. Okay. So can you tell me, are you aware of this? And what are the other methods are there?
No, sir, exactly not.
Okay. Fine. So Jyotsna, when I'm loading a website, any website for the first time, I am seeing 200 responses. You are aware of that, right? 100 responses are there, 200, 300, 400, 500 responses are there, right?
Yeah, sir.
Okay. So by default, if it is successful, we get 200 response. Okay. Now what
Yeah.
I'm doing now, let's say that I'm opening one application right now in my, let's say that I have opened my, and it's a web application which I regularly visit. Okay. And I'm getting 308
Okay.
response. What does it mean? It's not showing 200. It's not
300,
showing any other. Yeah, it's showing 38308. What does it mean?
uh, 300 error, sir.
Not error. I mean, that's a response code that we are getting. Cannot say it's error. That's a response code I'm getting. So what does it? I mean, what that 3 and 8 tells me for that
308.
request? Yep.
308. It's like 308. I'm not getting.
Okay, leave it. So you must have seen a lot of error codes while scripting, right? We get while we are scripting, while we are doing a scripting, we are when we are getting we get one status code error. Okay, it's for 500 error, 502,
Yeah, sir.
3,
200,
400, something
400,
like that. Yeah, we get it
401.
right. So
Yeah.
what kind of error codes you have encountered while scripting, and how did you resolve those issues? So if you can give me an idea.
Yeah, sir. I have got the 401 error, 403 error, and then 500 error. So 500 error is basically internal server error is there, and 403
So
error
what
is
does it
like for.
mean? What does it mean? I mean, we're saying 500 error, internal server error. I mean, what is happening when you're sending a
So,
request? What is happening?
yes, internal server error is our application is not performing well, so.
Okay, okay. So
Then
what else?
403
Yeah.
is forbidden error. It's there. Like this in 403, server is able to identify us, but we have don't have like access. Like this is like a admin portal. We don't have access. Like this.
So can we resolve it? Is there any way we can address this 403
Uh,
in our script? So that, I mean,
403 is.
let's say you're recording and you got 403 error. How do you handle this? You have to record, like you have to record. So what are you going to do so that in your or write in your script so that
We have to give the port, yeah, website user username, password, and a host port. No,
okay,
no, 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 sir. This is for 401, sir, and 403 credential issues is there, sir. So when we are giving that wrong credential or poor credential, this error is thrown, sir.
okay. So have you ever seen 404 coming up in your scripts?
404. Yeah, sir. Server could not find that resource. Like
So is there any way we can address this as well?
mm, when we are giving the wrong URL, this error is thrown. So,
Okay,
or we are when we are is there any authentication issue? Is there?
okay. Okay, fine, Josna. So, Josna, while recording, there are two options, right? We can record in two options. There is one URL mode and
Yeah.
there is an HTML mode. Can you tell me
Yes.
what is the difference between that, and when do we use URL or HTML? Is there any hard thumb rule? Is there, okay? You should if this is it. So this kind of script you have to use URL, or let's say you have to use HTML. So how do you decide? Okay, when to record in which mode?
Yeah, sir. URL in URL based. This is like uh, when we are using URL based mode for application who is non-browser based, and HTML based is for the browser based applications. So in URL based mode, we have to record all requests and resources coming from the server, and in HTML mode, uh, each user action is one request. So basically in HTML mode, the script size is short. So and in URL the script size is long, lengthy. So we have to take more effort in URL based mode.
Okay, so
And
you said when effort. So what efforts can you tell me?
sir, because in URL based script size is long, and it will records all the resources which are coming from the server. So to find out that resource and IDs, we have to check code.
Okay. So Jyotsna, can you tell me? So okay, so let me put it in this way. So there are two. Let's say when you are doing a submit, okay, some kind of submission, okay, you're sending data. Let's say, okay, if it's uh, what should I say? If it's a post request, you are basically sending some data to the resources, okay, for the processing. So uh, two methods that you have seen, I'm pretty sure you have seen. So web submit form and web
Yeah.
submit data. Okay,
Yes, sir.
so can you tell me where and when we get this, and which is, I mean, what is the difference between these two?
Web submit form is recorded when we are recording the HTML mode based mode, and web submit data we get that in both HTML and UR base, but in recording we have to select that option like script containing explicit URL only. So in web submit data, there is a contextless form submission, and we can allow the get and post requests like so.
Okay, what is contextless? When you say contextual, what does it mean?
Contextless means we've got, uh, it will automatically submit the data, sir.
How?
Mm,
Automatically? When how automatically, as in?
as in like
If it's, what is the context? I mean, the other when you are having
um,
context, right? So what does it mean?
um, context means uh, just seconds.
Okay. Okay, just leave it. Let's move on. Uh, so now I have one scenario for you. So you're recording a script. Okay, you open your Fusion. You have entered the URL. You selected the browser, and you are recording it. In recording, you've seen that nothing, no traffic, no events were recorded. Okay. So now what will
Yes,
you
sir.
do?
I have to check the firstly the uh, is the we in mapping and filtering we have to select that socket level data is there or not. Then we have to check the browser. Then we have to check the port is okay or not, or we have to select that right protocol or not. So
Okay. Let's say those things you have checked and still nothing. Then
um, then, sir, there is maybe problem with that browser.
okay. So let's say that you have a deadline. Okay. And I mean, this application you have recorded multiple times, and you had the script, but they have done some major changes in the URL itself. And now, if you are change to like doing some, let's say what we call in India jugaad, okay, that is also not working. So you have to record new script. Okay, you have to record a new script, and you have a deadline, and you have tried. Let's say the things that you told me, I have tried that. It's not working. Now, what will you do? Because you have to create a script, right? Without script, we cannot generate the load. So what will you do now?
Yes, sir. In that we have to use that Fiddler option. So by using Fiddler, we have to record that and convert that request in Fusion. Or yes,
Let's say Fiddler is not working then.
by using custom coding, sir,
Okay. So
we
can you
have
give
to
me any like rough idea how about you going to do it? How will you do it?
in custom coding, sir. Like we have to generate a code by like No, sir.
Okay. Fine. Hmm. Okay, just so in your browser, let's say I've opened my network tool. Okay, I've opened my network. I've opened my developer tool. In that, I went to network. I've opened any application. Okay, for any application I'm getting the I get this. What are the events that are basically that we see in our control, whether which get recorded or we see in our Fiddler or any traffic like capturing tool. You'll see that. So for that request, for that event, you can say that you'll get a waterfall breakdown. Okay, so that means, okay, for this request, from the moment it hits like you hit let's say google.com. Okay, so that is a primary request. Now because of that request, a lot of secondary requests are getting called. So for that we get 300, right? So those are redirections are happening, and those are also getting captured there. Okay, now you'll get a
Yeah.
breakdown. Okay, which are all things that we get there. So I'm sure you are aware of all these things. So, I mean, we get like how much time it took in DNS, how much time it took in connection establishment, how much time it took in SSL, how much time it took to network time to first of all, or server time to first of all, download time component. So all those things we get it. Okay. And then it gives a
Yeah.
collective number. Okay. This request took this much total time from going back to coming to your browser. Okay. So can you tell me
Mm.
that in, let's say the download time component is high. So what could be the possible reason for that?
Download in the sense of
Download
what?
time component. So you have seen, right, in that format we get download time component also. So that component is
Yeah.
high. Let's say that the request should take 2 seconds. It took 5 seconds, and then within 3 seconds itself is taken in download time component. So what could be the possible reason for this high download time component? Okay. Okay, leave it. So Josna, can you tell me what kind of architecture you use in your projects? What kind of application architecture you can you hear me, Josna? Hello, can you hear me? Josna, I can't hear you. Josna, can you hear me? Hello, Josna, I can't hear you. You can join again. Let's check. Hello, hello. Okay, I'm stopping the recording.
This conference will
Yeah,
now be
I
recorded.
think can I can hear you now.
So
So
there
yeah,
was some network issues.
I think so. Did you get my question right? What was I asking? The download component is
Um,
higher, so you are answering that. I
no, sir.
think. Okay, you didn't
Yeah.
get the question. So let me repeat that question. Okay, so in the butterfly breakdown, we get that, okay, which we request is taking how much time in which particular component. So let's say there is DNS lookup. Let's say there is, okay, the you have that's a lot of server time to network time to first of all download time component. Okay, but in your request, I'm seeing that out of 5 seconds, it's only taking I mean, the request should complete within 2 seconds, but it's taking 3 seconds itself only in download time component. Rest and all, it's taking 2 seconds. So what could be the possible reason for that high? I mean, where should I look to resolve it? To be very so, how do you go about it?
No, sir, I don't have that idea about that, sir.
Okay, fine. So Jyotsna, can you you told me that you are working on two projects. I mean, you have worked on two projects. So can you tell me give me an idea what kind of architecture you have used in your application?
Yeah, sir, just a second. I told you, sir.
Hello, hello, Jyotsna, can you hear me now? I think I lost you again. Hello, hello, Jyotsna, can you hear me? Jyotsna, I can't hear you. Hello. Jyotsna, I can't hear you. Okay, fine. Jyotsna, if the issue is persistent, then I think I got fair idea. Let me give you the feedback. Okay. Uh, Hello, can you hear me? Okay. So let me stop the recording and let me give you the feedback.